Welcome back, everyone. Our final guest tonight is Joel Feingold. Joel is the founder and organizer of Boston's Ride of Silence, which is happening exactly 1 week from tonight. Welcome, Joel, and thanks so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What exactly is the Ride of Silence?
Well, the Ride of Silence, it's really very simple. Effectively, it's a rolling tribute to cyclists that have been killed in collisions with motor vehicles. And it's a gentle ask that people share the road.
Why did you start this ride?
Well, there were really two reasons. One of them was personal. A friendly acquaintance of mine who I used to ride with occasionally through the Wednesday Wheelers, which is sort of a subgroup of the Charles River Wheelmen, was killed by a car, very unfortunate accident. And then in, I believe it was 2012, there was a flurry of fatalities.
Right.
Maybe there were 7 of them in the urban area and maybe more in the suburban areas.
Right.
And I just said, oh, this is just too much. We have just got to begin to raise awareness. And we had a very small Ride of Silence in Framingham. I knew a number of people in the city of Boston. I had worked in the city of Boston, that I would try to engage the city of Boston formally and start a Boston Ride of Silence. And so that's what we did.
So how many years have you been doing this?
This is our 3rd year.
3rd year, okay. Now, where did the ride originally, or where did the concept originally come from?
This is a very moving story. The Ride of Silence is now an international nonprofit organization in its 13th year. It was founded by a man named
Chris, was it?
Chris Whalen, thank you.
Okay.
And he founded it because a close friend of his who was a top-level endurance rider was killed when he was struck by the mirror of a passing school bus. And in 3 weeks of planning, 1,000 people turned out for the ride. And
What state? What state was this?
Dallas, Texas, city and state.
Right.
And now over 300 cities in something like 25 countries on 7 continents.
Okay, so for any viewers out there that want to ride, it's next Wednesday,
Next
how
Wednesday.
can they find out information?
Okay, so we have a Facebook page, and if you just go onto Facebook and type into the search bar Ride of Silence Boston, it's going to pop right up. Briefly,
And where's the starting point?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Briefly, we gather on the south side, which is the Washington Street Extension side of City Hall Plaza at 6:45.
When you and I talked a little bit earlier, you talked about what Boston Bikes does. Let's talk about that, how they have these escorting services.
Oh yeah, Boston Bikes has a variety of interesting programs, but one that I'm particularly fond of and have occasionally helped out with is they have, let's call them introductory rides for people that are interested in trying bike commuting. Several of us who are experienced city riders will meet at a specific location. It's always very early.
Okay.
And then the riders that want to try the ride into the city but want to do it with some other riders, we all join together. And so there might be, at that point, say 10 or 12 riders, and then there are assigned stops, like a bus stop, except we pick up other cyclists.
That's fantastic, because that really gives people who don't do that ride that often, you know, it builds their confidence so that they can do it on their own, and I would suspect that's their goal.
That's the goal. It's to give someone who wouldn't try something like that on their own.
We just have a few minutes left here.
Sure.
Tell me about the group ride that you lead through the city.
There are lots of folks that are interested in the city, don't see much of it, but are also not normally biking in it. So what I do is, and we do this on a Sunday morning, and we start early when the traffic's not too bad, we take them through so they can see some different sights. So we, for example, we climb the great big hill in the Arnold Arboretum. And from there, you have a view across the foliage right into downtown Boston. Well, this is a view you just don't get unless you walk up to the top or ride your bike to the top.
Absolutely. Joel, thank you so much for coming in this evening. We definitely appreciate it. If you haven't gone to the national website, therideofsilence.org, please do so. There are reports from around the world. There are in memoriam, letters of support. It's a fantastic website, so make sure you visit it.
And we have a little gift for you. I'm butting in. I know there's only 30 seconds left.
There's only 30 seconds left.
We did make up some nice little shirts this year. It's got the Charles River Wheelman logo on the front.
Oh,
and nice Ride of Silence logo on the back. And so this one's for you.
Thank you so much.
I got a couple others for
Alrighty.
the staff.
Thank you so much. I'm Melanie, and thanks for watching tonight. Ride safe, and we'll see you next week. Good night.